Interstellar by Christopher Nolan. It's incredible. He doesn't miss. He's a great director. I love this film. I love NASA, space exploration, black holes, slingshotting off planets for gravity boost. This movie has it all. Great plot, great performances, an incredible score by Hans Zimmer, and a lot of ugly crying because people are constantly crying in this movie. It stars Matthew McConaughey as Cooper, aka Coop. He's a pilot. He's a farmer. He's a family man. He loves his family, and he wants to save the world. Claire Foy and Jessica Chastain as Murphy's daughter. Timothy Chalamet, the Lisa Nalgaib, and Casey Affleck as Thomas son, who doesn't really say much, is kind of just pissed off the whole time. Anne Hathaway as Dr. Brand, and Michael Caine as Professor Brand, her father, who just looks tired the whole time. I guess he got exhausted playing Alfred for their movies. And Tars the Robot, my favorite character, my favorite robot. He's just hilarious, and I like the way he moves like a bunch of Kit Kat bars stapled together. And when he spins like a wheel on the water planet, that was like my favorite moment of the whole movie. Takes place on a future Earth. Planet's dying, people are starving, it's the end of the world. We open up with Coop, almost getting his family killed by driving recklessly to a cornfield and almost off a cliff. He then goes to Murph's school and yells at her teachers and gets her suspended. Good parenting, Coop. Um, Murph has a ghost that's sending messages with gravity in her room, and one of the messages is coordinates to a facility that they go check out. They get captured. There's a funny scene where Tars is interrogating Cooper. It's hilarious. They meet Professor Brand, and it's revealed that they're at a underground NASA facility. And there's a stupid reveal where they open up the walls and they see a rocket being constructed. Seems kind of would be loud and dangerous to have a boardroom next to a missile silo, but whatever. Um, Professor Brand reveals that about 48 years ago, a wormhole appeared next to Saturn or was placed there. And by traveling through it, you end up in a new galaxy. And there's a giant black hole there, Gargantua, and it looks incredible. I love the look of the black hole. There's a bunch of worlds there, and missions were sent to explore them, and 3 planets send back data suggesting that they're habitable. So the plan is to scout them out, while Professor Brand tries to invent a gravity-controlling formula to create space colonies to a mass exodus off Earth, with Plan B being a colonization with embryos, so humanity can live on in some way. It's desperate, it's a long shot, but it's the best plan we got. Coop decides to pilot the mission because it's the only way to save his family, but being in close proximity to a black hole, there's going to be time dilation, and the little amount of time he's going to spend in that other galaxy, a lot of time will pass on Earth. So he's potentially going to be gone for years or decades. He has the emotional goodbye with Murph. There's a lot of ugly crying, and she's just mad. She won't forgive him. It's kind of sad when a parent abandons their child for their entire life, but sometimes there's not goodbyes. So man up, Murph, and blast off. We're into space and meet the crew, and they go into hypersleep. I don't like the tech here. They're like in body bags filled with water in a shower. It's kind of stupid, but they sleep for 2 years, wake up at Saturn, and they go through the wormhole. And then I like the mirror effect. I think it looks pretty cool. And we're off to our first planet. So we start at Miller's World. It's completely covered in water. I don't know why they don't see it on entry. Seems kind of obvious, but time becomes a valuable resource because an hour spent on the surface is 7 years passing on Earth, and Goop doesn't have time to waste. He wants to get back to his family. So they drop in and out, try to get the data, but the whole planet's covered in water. And because of the gravity, there's these massive mile-high tsunamis that just wreck the ship. Doyle gets killed. They get stranded there for about an hour or so. And by the time we get back, 20 years have passed, and they failed at the first planet. Coop decides to read his missed messages, and he gets to see his kids grow up and hate him. Tom is very resentful. He loses a child and basically thinks is dead and just lets him go as if he died. Murph only sends one message because she's still angry at him, doesn't forgive him, and Coop is just letting everybody down. Murph is working with Professor Bennett at NASA, and then on his deathbed, while crying, he reveals that the whole mission is kind of like a fraud. They're not going to get off Earth, and she thinks that Coop abandoned her. They have to decide what planet they go to next. So Dr. Brand has a very emotional speech while crying, talks about the power of love and how it transcends space and time. But the other guys don't listen to her, and they decide to go to Dr. Man's planet instead. They drop down on Dr. Man's planet. It's like covered in these giant ice structures. They wake up Dr. Mann, and it's revealed to be Matt Damon, and I didn't know he was in the movie at the time they saw it the first time, so it was a cool reveal. He's crying, he's relieved that he's rescued, and he reveals that planet's habitable, so they decide to kind of set up shop. We come back to Earth where Murph and Tom are getting into it. Murph has her doctor friend go check out Tom's family because they're suffering from lung disease, but I guess Tom has like blight madness and they get into a fight. There's like a lot of resentment and hatred, and he asks Murph to get out of there. Dr. Mann tries to kill Coop because in his cowardice, it's revealed that his planet is not habitable and he didn't want to die. So he sent out false data to be rescued because he was too afraid to die. And he's willing to risk the lives of the crew and all of humanity to survive because he's so afraid of dying. So he leaves Coop for dead. Uh, Dr. Brand goes to save him. And on Earth, Murph lights a fire to pull Tom away from the house, and this is where the film really picks up, and the score is hitting hard here, and we're pushing like towards the climax of the whole movie. Dr. Mann is trying to dock with the main ship and strand Brand and Coop on the planet. He's like carrying on him with his speech, and he screws up the docking sequence and blows up the whole ship. And here we get probably the coolest scene of the movie where Coop has to dock with the spinning spaceship. Uh, Great score, and I love the "It's necessary" line. It's incredible, and Coop, pulls off the impossible and is able to sync up back with the ship. Go Coop. That was awesome. The ship is damaged. It's falling into the black hole, so they got very limited options. So they decide that they're gonna slingshot off the black hole and send Dr. Brand to the last planet. Stars is gonna fall into the black hole, gather data and send it back to Earth, and hopefully they can use that to create the gravity formula to get off Earth. And just being in the close proximity for the black hole for seconds, 51 years passed, but Coop's pretty much given a hope of getting back to Earth. So they pull off the stunt. Coop has to sacrifice himself by falling to the black hole, and we get a really cool scene. Sort of wish there was spaghettification. I wanted to see a Coop stretched out because to me, falling to a black hole would probably be the scariest death imaginable. But Coop wakes up in a time tesseract. It's like a weird time dimension, and it's in his house, and he sees Murph, and he figures out that he's Murph's ghost. Future humans basically created this time place so he can communicate with her, and he's able to send the data that Tars collected to her watch through Morse code. Cool. And with that, she's able to, finish the time formula and save humanity by creating space colonies. Hoop is like burped out of the wormhole and ends up on Saturn, and he's rescued. It's revealed that he's 124 years old, so I think he left Earth in his 30s, so 90 years have passed, and humans were able to get to Saturn, so, go humanity. I don't like the look of the space colonies. They look kind of weird and small. They look way better like in Gundam, but we get a emotional meetup by Murph and Coop. Um, Kind of funny that Murph's whole family just ignores Coop, and it seems kind of weird. They don't even say hi to him. But Murph's pretty much telling Coop, "You got to split, go rescue Brand." But I don't understand. I thought the colonies were heading towards that planet, so I don't know how Coop's gonna get there faster. There's no more wormhole. I guess he's gonna slingshot around Jupiter and use the power of love to get there quicker. But film ends and humanity saved. Love the movie. It's on Netflix right now. Check it out. Uh, Rage Against the Dying of the Light. Thank you.